This video is about the art of Shotokan Karate as practiced by the clubs under the International Association of Shotokan Karate, the IASK, whose main club is based at the Harrow Leisure Centre in northwest London, where they train 3 days a week. The organisation is led by its founder and chief instructor, Sensei Nicholas Adamou, whose dedication and enthusiasm has driven the success of this club over the years, and who continues to provide a highly traditional teaching style, following the fine heritage of the Japanese founders of Shotokan, under whose lineage he trained. This richness of karate tradition is a major benefit of the training provided by the IASK. A special black belt class was held in October 2015, with current and past students attending, some of whom now run their own clubs under the IASK. This class showcased Sensei's teaching style and techniques, and is the main subject of this video.
Somebody who moves fast. So yoi. So step forward, get down right fast, and kiai. Yoi. Okay, so everybody from here perform chudan gakuzuki. 1. So in a moment you'll do my gari jodan and then gakuzuki chudan. Then again my gari jodan and gakuzuki chudan. Then after that then you'll do get and right turn, and again gakuzuki ready for the same technique. So ready, with speed, with power. 1! Yes, very good. When you're kicking, when you do my geri, keep your arms in the same position. Start again. My geri yakuzuki. 2! So turning, just get them right. Moate! Very good. And if you stay where you are, then chew down, stomach height, yakuzuki. 1! Then again, same technique. My geri, yakuzuki stepping forward. 1! So kiai on my geri, and also kiai on gakuzuki. 2! Mawate!
Sensei Adamou has lived in Luton for the past 20 years, some 60 miles from Harrow, a journey he has made many times. I went to interview him there about his recollections from his history in karate and about his clubs today. Sensei is a self-taught classical pianist and sees parallels in that and karate, arguing that both contain plenty of scope for artistic expression and inspiration. What made you want to take up karate?
Well, there were 2 reasons really. A karate leaflet had just been pinned up on the college notice board. As I stared at it, I immediately saw and could almost feel the dynamic fighting potential of the karate moves displayed by the 2 Japanese karateka on the leaflet. I was also struck by the artistic beauty of the techniques. This, plus having been bullied at college, made me decide there and then that I must take up karate.
How old were you when you started karate, and what was the club or organisation that you joined?
I started karate in December 1964 when I was 17 years old, and joined the British Karate-Do Federation, the BKF, which was headed by its founder, Dr. Bell. For 4 months, Dr. Bell, Terry Wingrove and Jimmy Neal were my instructors. But then, on the 17th of April 1965, and whilst still only a white belt, I was amongst the lucky few who trained in the first karate class ever to be given in the United Kingdom by Taiji Kazi, Hirokazu Kanazawa, Kanazuka Inoida and Hiroshi Shirai, who were 4 masters from the Japan Karate Association. Hirokazu Kanazawa, then a 5th Dan and twice All Japan Karate champion, became the resident instructor of the London dojos, and I was therefore able to train as much as 5 times a week under him. it's 3 counts, it's speed with power, stance changing. So Furudachi, Ruchi stance, then Kusudachi, and then finally back to Ruchi stance. Hey, oi, 1! Okay, make sure in Furudachi your front foot is in. And when you revert back to Zen Kusudachi, your feet must go this way back to Zen Kusudachi with left Hyakuzuki. Hey, oi, 2! And Kiai on Janzuki in Furudachi. 3! Very good. And all the punches are stomach-high. All the punches are shoot-down, stomach-high. Hey, again, step forward. Left. Oizuki in Furudachi. 1! Then Kusudachi Hyakuzuki. 2! And Kiai. 3! Okay, so stepping back. Will be Furudachi on 1. And on 2, Zenkus and Furudachi again. So 6 counts.
When did you take your first grading?
I took my 7th Q yellow belt grading in July 1965 under Kanazawa Sensei, and all of my gradings from 7th Q up to Godan 5th Dan were awarded to me by Kanazawa Sensei.
How would you describe those early years, from when you started karate up to your first Dan?
Well, even before passing my 7th Q grading, the emphasis was always on technique, being meticulously shown how to use your hips, legs, arms, and how to breathe correctly and to relax and tense at the precise moment so as to create kime or focus. Then from about 6th Q green belt onward, some classes will be based on building up stamina and spirit, with each technique or technique combinations being performed in repetition as much as 20 or 30 times. Sometimes other Japanese instructors would be present to instruct in the class, and I remember one class in which Senseis Kanazawa, Inoda, Nagai, Sumi and Takahashi were present. I was a green belt at the time, and as part of the experience we had to pair up with each of them for slow freestyle. That class was truly inspirational. The training created a strong bond of comradeship amongst like-minded karateka who certainly loved the art as much as I did. There was a group of 7 of us that used to follow Kanazawa Sensei from dojo to dojo, week in, week out, in order to train under him as much as possible. Because of this and the fact that there were 7 of us, Kanazawa Sensei used to call us his 7th samurai.
You've often said that there are certain similarities between the art within karate and other art forms, such as music. What exactly do you mean by this?
Well, both disciplines require dedication, concentration, and an incredible amount of practice. This will create a strong foundation from which more complex and technically demanding karate techniques or musical pieces can be performed. For example, you've had to have mastered a very simple scale like before you could have the capability and move on to performing something a bit more advanced like etc, etc. And this is true of karate, you know. Before you can correctly perform a complicated punching combination that may appear in a kata, you first have to train hard in order to perfect a single basic punch correctly. Otherwise, the quality of each punch in the kata combination will be compromised.
Do you have any other examples you could give?
In terms of the dynamics or expression given as a karate technique or a part of music is performed, there do seem to be some similarities. For example, in karate, a move may start from nothing or a kind of silence and then explode in an instant as a kick or a punch is performed with tremendous focus. Yeah! And this is a bit similar to a chord that is played loudly and sharply in music, for example. But apart from any similarities between the dynamics of the chord, short and sharp, or the punch, fast with focus, and the explosive exuberance that's evoked the instant either is performed, there's also a similarity in the way that both musician and karateka are in a state of silent and calm expectation in preparation for what's about to be performed.
Freeze! Hey! Hey! So first is Soto-Yuki, Zenko, Sadachi. And then on 2, Empiuchi and Kibadachi. And then stay in Kibadachi. Make sure you keep your stance strong. From here, Yurikanuchi. And then we go back to Zenko Sadachi for Gyakuzuki. He will be in proper Kibadachi with the hand out like this. Okay, so for example, this way. And my side will be this way. So, for example, slowly, 2 counts, my side will do Yokogari Kyagi and back. Yokogari Kyagi and back. Or fast, Kyagi and back. And Kyagi and back. Like this. So very slowly, first of all, right? Yokogari Kyagi. And although in basics we do from here, arms like this. Now just this fist on your hip. Push. This fist on your hip. Hey, slowly, 1 count, make sure you pass the deal the way back. Right, 1. And also it's good for the kick, it's good for your timing, good for the feel of the kick, to actually touch the gi. It's very, very good to do that. Us. Right.
What inspired you most from training under Sensei Kanazawa?
It was so inspirational to be only a few feet away from him in a class and experience techniques performed with such incredible speed and explosive instantaneous power that were combined with a beauty and athletic agility. With all this, he was still a very humble and kind-hearted person.
I believe you once appeared on BBC TV's Nationwide in 1974 with Sensei Kanazawa.
Yes, that's right. There was also Sensei Asano and Kato, along with Steve Cattle, Eddie Witcher, Mick Randall and my brother Chris. I remember all of us being lined up in the crescent and standing in Shikadachi with Kanazawa Sensei in front as we performed some moves from Qigong. Then starting with Asano Sensei, each of us attacked Kanazawa Sensei and he defended and counterattacked.
In the same year, Sensei, you wrote a book about karate.
Yes, I wanted to show the breakdown of karate techniques that would help beginners. So I wrote, printed and published Karate Basics for Beginners, which featured Kanazawa Sensei performing the final technique and myself performing the positions leading up to this. Then in 1979 I thought it would be great to show Kanazawa Sensei performing his karate techniques as clearly as possible through good photography and easily understood text. As a result, I co-authored Kanazawa's Karate, which was published in 1981.
When did you form the Harrow School of Shotokan Karate?
Mick Randall, my brother Chris and myself all taught together at our clubs in Walthamstow, Winchmore Hill, Islington and Hornsey. And soon after the Harrow Leisure Centre was built and opened up to the public in 1975, I established my club there and called it the Harrow School of Shotokan Karate. Zenkuts, say that you've had Prelude-Uki and Age-Uki, get them right, ready for Gyakuzuki. That's the second proper Gyakuzuki itself. So you're in. 1 count. 1! 2! Okay, and from here, you're going to overstep and pull up with the back leg, then Gyakuzuki and pull back. 3! Yes, good. And back again. Very good. 1! Very good. One more time. 1! Very good. Push. Okay, so get them right. Hey! Yeah! So slowly, first of all, you're going to do a Jodo 1, a Jujuki, and then grab it, and then Mashigeri, Shamawashi or fast. Fast, for example. 1! Yeah! Mashigeri, yeah! Empty. And you so 1, slowly. So don't just do this. Sure, it will work. You can manage to get the kicking out, but definitely pull like this. So their body goes, and your kick goes. So 1, 2. So their body goes onto the kick, and then also they're off balance. And also, when, like in a chair here, seated here, you block, and then from here, twist from your top back to push.
get used to sort of example. So you've done this. Maybe it doesn't work, and you can easily hit. So make the new way again. It's safer. Okay, one count fast, Joy. Hi, Gary. Get him, Brian. Get Suzuki, Brian. On! Yeah!
How many years did you train under Kanazawa Sensei?
I remained a student under Kanazawa Sensei from 1965 whilst in the BKF and the KUGB, and then as a student and instructor and as a grading examiner in SKI, which was a total of 25 years. I then went on to form my own organisation, the National Shotokan Karate Association, the NSKA, that was in 1989. I organised an NSKA open course at the Harrow Leisure Centre for all styles and associations, with Kanazawa Sensei as the guest instructor.
What happened after this?
In February 1993, I was invited to India, Calcutta, by Somnath Palchowdhury of the Indian Federation of Shotokan Karate, the IFSK, to hold a 6-day karate course and grading there. After my visit, the IFSK affiliated to my association, and at that point, the National Shotokan Karate Association was renamed the International Association of Shotokan Karate, the IASK.
That have been here for the whole 40 years that the Leisure Centre has been standing. So we'd like to just invite them up to receive a plaque on behalf of everyone active and Harrow Council. So if I could invite the Harrow School of Shotokan Karate, a representative to the stage, please. Thank you very much. Nick informed me that he was actually training young people as they were laying the bricks around him. He's been here that long. Years. He doesn't look 40 years old, does he? He said it's because he's about 90. Thank you very much. Would you like to stand on stage just everyone? That's fine. We'd like you to blow the birthday cake.
2 counts, right? 1. And then check your kibba tape. You've got to be 90, so the kick is coming this way and your kibba will go this way. It certainly works if you go a different direction, but go back. The block works that way, but when you twist into Zenkrux, and you're speed and power. 1! Yeah! And you may. 1. And that. There you go. Speed, power. Kion MP Uchi. Yoi. Elbow strike. 1! Okay, the other side. Zenka Zudachi. Right here. Yoi! Slow 1 count and defense is 1 is this. We've got to leave it too long because they're constantly moving forward. So you have to be 1, 2, straight away. Yoi, slowly. 1. And back. Hey, yoi. So speed, power, 1 count. Yoi. 1. Yeah! Once again. So be mindful, be aware of the fact.
You spoke about nothingness or stillness between techniques and within musical pieces. What do you mean by this?
Yes, well, these moments of silence or stillness in between some karate combination techniques or within musical pieces are just as important as the technique itself or the notes that are actually being heard. I can't stress how important this nothingness is. For example, a statue of a man standing with his hands on his hips didn't acquire its shape only from the material that's been used to create it. It's obvious that the shape is derived from 2 elements, what's physically there and what isn't. This nothingness is vitally important when it occurs in a kata, where incredibly fast and dynamic moves occur in a combination in which there's a definite moment when the body is utterly still between each move. To achieve this requires impeccable control and precision, of course, but without it, the individual explosive dynamism of each move, which gives rise to the personality of the combination in the kata, is lost in a diluted blur. So I've noticed that similar things happen in music, in which a combination of notes, or chords, or both, are played, and within this there are definite and precise pauses, which all go to create its unique and dynamic personality in exactly the same way as in a karate combination or a kata.
Thank you very much, Sensei. Us.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. Us.